In August 2005, the Israeli government began uprooting Jewish communities in the Gaza Strip. After 30 years of successful building and farming on the sand dunes of Gaza, it took just a week to obliterate Jewish life there. The government hoped that evicting some 9,000 Israelis from the Gaza communities would improve security. Instead, Israel got war.
In exchange, we got more missiles launched at Israel. More missiles have been smuggled into the Gaza Strip since the expulsion of the settlements. And most importantly, most notoriously, it triggered an all-out war.
Yoram Ettinger, former Israeli liaison to Congress, says the result from 4 years ago should clearly be on the minds of Israeli leaders today.
The message to the terrorists has been that not only is terrorism paid off, but in fact you get more and more recognition by the international community.
Many Israelis have changed their minds about the disengagement. A recent poll showed that 68% of those who supported the pullout now think it was a mistake. Hamas has used the former Jewish settlements as training grounds for terrorists. Thriving greenhouses cultivated by Israelis were given to the Palestinians, then vandalized or destroyed. Israel spent more than $1 billion to help evicted residents, but it wasn't enough. 4 years later, more than 95% of the former residents are still living in temporary housing. There is also an economic crisis, with 38% of the evicted families facing unemployment or underemployment, and hundreds of the evacuees still paying mortgages on homes that were destroyed. Farmers are the hardest hit. Before, more than 400 successful farmers sent their produce to the best markets in the world. Today, only 10% are still farming. Anita Tucker, one of the pioneering farmers of Gush Katif, has yet to restart her business.
It's not so easy, and you're not the same person after you went through this kind of a trauma where everything in your lifetime was destroyed to a pile of rubble.
Tucker said there were problems with the compensation. It didn't include home and business upgrades or an allowance for the years of lost income. But she says the spiritual things that couldn't be taken away help them go on with their lives.
The spirit and the values, the faith that we managed to salvage, and we're not going to let anybody destroy it.
While some struggle to move on, others are growing produce again in the desert near Gaza. At Halutziot, which means pioneers, 90 Gush Katif families and others from around Israel oversee 500 acres of greenhouses and 3,000 acres of land growing organic vegetables.
Even though things are taking time and things are not easy and things are not maybe going as fast as we thought they would go, but things are developing nicely.
Eli Adler, a rabbi and farmer, lives with his family in a temporary house where makeshift bomb shelters line the streets.
Of course, it was very painful for us leaving Gush Katif, but even though whatever we went through, which wasn't simple, our spirit was left with us when we came here. And we're continuing.
The former residents of Gush Katif say they are determined to press on with their lives. But they believe that one day they or their children or their grandchildren will return to the Gaza Strip and rebuild. Chris Mitchell, CBN News, Jerusalem.